Definitely.
Yeah, but definitely, I want to come back and do it again. But I've really enjoyed it. That's how testament of how good it was. You know, it's like you go to a restaurant and you eat a nice meal, and it's so sweet. You say, yeah, I'm going back there. I'm gonna, I don't know, get the duck again. Because the duck is proper. It's one of those ones where I'll come back in a year's time and just
bring my
this
family
again.
and members.
Say it again. Yeah.
Bring your family and
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. So, and I definitely, that's all I want to say. An amazing experience. I've learned so much. I'm not going to start to elaborate on dissect all the things I've learned, but it's been an eye opener for me in terms of understanding my emotions better. What Tony set out to do at the beginning of this course, we said we're going to literally split the brain open, have a peep inside it, unpack it all, and then put it back together. I feel as though I've definitely gone through that process myself, and the games that we played over the last 2 days, I said this to Tony already, that those games, when we were playing them, I was reflecting and putting those games into real life scenarios, and I could see that in real life. I'm not talking on a micro level, macroscopic level, countries, etc. Remember when we were doing the game where we were having to dance, and then if you got close to somebody to join them, that stuff happens every day. A lot of time we're not dancing to our rhythm, we're dancing to other people's rhythm. So even though it was a very light-hearted workshop in terms of there was no real depth, I believe even this workshop, there was depth. There was depth. You know, this could even be a trauma workshop. You know what I mean? Trauma workshop. We're opening up and we're unpacking and putting back the bits we want and leaving confrontation out. Right? But that's what I want to say. It's an amazing workshop. I want to thank the brother for facilitating us. You know.
Thank you.
Off the back of... Sorry.
It's funny because I'm realizing something. I often, not as much anymore getting debate, but I've sort of trained myself when I feel like what I'm saying is not being heard. It's like, I'm out. I am not dealing with this BS. Nobody's listening. But for me, sitting here and just the exercise that we went through that I thought, okay, it was done 5 hours ago. It's like, it kept continuing. And what I realized is sitting here, it's like, you know, just because I think someone is not listening doesn't mean they're not. And even if they're not listening, how I don't want to use the word strong, how convicted am I in what I'm saying? And so it's like a farm. If you plant a seed, you have to do a lot of things. You have to make sure the seed is getting enough light, enough water, fertilizer. So for me, it actually pushed me beyond when you say, I'm done, nobody's listening, but to keep pushing. And it's something that I'm going to just sit with and take on some more. It's not to be combative at all, but just to be convicted in what I believe in. So this actually just hit me, and it's like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. And the whole weekend for me really is just, I'm self-employed, so I'm mostly at home. I live in Leicester. I don't know a lot of people in Leicester, so I don't go out a lot. I'm usually with my computer, writing, typing, doing all kinds of stuff. And I felt like I've been a little bit stagnant, even considered like maybe I've just been sort of feeling depressed. And also paralleling that to a year ago, I was in detention center and here I am. So I'm thinking, well, maybe there's some kind of connection there that my body just connecting to experience I had a year ago. So actually being here and really use my energy in the way that I love and being creative and talking with people. Yes, yesterday I spoke to my ex-wife and I just said, oh my God. She was excited just by my feedback. And this morning, I was telling her, I said, oh, guess where I'm going? Guess who's excited? So I sent a message. And it's just, for me, it's like I found a way to channel my energy as well as reaching people that I know my life is calling me to step into, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. And I see this would be a good vehicle where it goes beyond intellectualism, but it's more about feeling and stories that we've made up about ourselves. So I'm thankful for everybody, for what you all bring, and also grateful for what's to come. I don't know what that looks like, but I feel like, yeah, it's good.
I think what it did was released a lot of our inner child, because through gameplay, you trick people into learning.
Yeah.
Because we've all come in the room, we're all smart. We all know intellectually. So we've got to be tricked into learning. And the playfulness of the drama enabled us to do that with no resistance whatsoever. So you say this thing like, we all belong to tribes, and and you'll get someone that, I don't. I'm an individual, and I think in a particular way, which is unique amongst 7 billion people.
Right.
Okay, I'll just give you the Jay-Z nod. Okay. But they exist, and you find them in every single room. And then you have a challenge like that challenge where we were dancing and we had our own beat. And let's just see how much of an individual you are.
Yeah.
Or if you're influenced. And it's like I saw you, like you were adamant, and I could see you were conflicted. You were adamant in your own little
Carlton.
but I could see where you were a little confused. I'm a little tempted, but I don't see it. I'm going to beat to my own drum. And this is the thing that can isolate us as well, that individualism, where the individualism doesn't necessarily serve us. And like you were saying, where you are at home, you find yourself, your circumstance is different because you've been brought back here. But we do that in this metropolis, which is 12 million people, and maybe 1 million African Caribbeans as African Caribbeans, and still isolate ourselves and tell ourselves the story with the police in our heads that we're by ourselves.
Yes.
Like what you did with your family, like, I don't have a family.
Yeah.
We do that. We tell ourselves these stories. But I think unpacking these dramas, what it's actually done for us is give us clarity in an objective way to step outside of ourselves and see ourselves for what we actually are. I think wherever we're coming from before we came in the room, I think we're going to leave a little bit more self-aware and contemplative of others based on the soft skills that we've acquired from the drama to be able to utilize with friends, family, colleagues, and even those who are Junkro we don't wish to interact with, but it's given us possibly better devices to interact with them. So.
I would like to say, when I think I did that T-shirt Tony's wearing, I did that aesthetic in Berlin. And whilst I was there, I kept on pinching myself, how was I there? I don't know how I got there. The same I feel about this weekend as well. I know I came, but I can't, there was no thought process about why. I still think, why am I here? What is my purpose? Why did I come to this thing? Because and I feel I'm getting dragged more and more. I won't use the word drag actually. I feel I'm entering more and more in this kind of drama, which is unpicking. It really does unpick. It's like an onion, but you're just peeling back more and more and more. And the more I go to it, the more I'm peeling back more, and the more I finish this kind of drama exhausted, emotionally exhausted. It really does. Yeah. But also I'm blessed because I hear a lot of these stories from everybody here, and you realize you're not alone. First of all, you realize you're not alone. And secondly, you kind of, although this peeling is going back and back, and you're trying to get to the core of who you are, why you're here, what you're being, what your purpose in life. I'm still going through that, but it's a difficult path for me right now because it's exposing me. I'm becoming very vulnerable. So all these, you talked about a mask and stuff like that. We all hide behind masks, and it's like the masks are coming back, and then what's my reflection now? What am I seeing? That's what this type of drama does for me. So this is the third time I've actually done this type of drama this year, and each time it's like getting deeper and deeper. I will be crying next time. But not today. But yeah, that's what I feel about this. So thank you, folks. Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a similar kind of feeling. I didn't know what to expect when I came here, and I had no idea. I've not done this kind of thing before. And I'm going through a real kind of troubled time in my life at the moment, but I will say that it's kind of helped me the last couple of days. It's kind of really distracted me, and rather than being negative and down, it's actually allowed me to use that energy in a different way. It's not gone to waste. I thank you all for that, and it's been quite intense, and it's been quite honest and open with everyone. So it's just, I feel quite comfortable, and that's the good thing that I got out of this, because generally in life you don't meet people out there who you can just, because some of the stuff we're bringing here, it is, although it's acting, playing, etc., it is you. So that's the whole point, and it's honest and it's real. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much.
So I purposely, even when I got the leaflet, I saw the word oppression, and as I said, I saw Nation of Islam, and I thought, they back it, good stuff. And then I kept telling myself, I'm actually going to be prepared. I'm going to do research on Tony Seeley. I want to know what he's about. And I did get your webpage up, but if you look at my thing, I'm one of those people that have like 17 tabs all over them. So I never got around to looking at it, and then I didn't set up internet on my phone. So I haven't actually looked into who Tony Seeley is, and I've done it on purpose, because I wanted to come with no preconception, because I'm never in the moment, by the way. I'm here, but I'm into next week in my head. I like, sometimes when I'm in a group, I can, do you believe me or not, I can tend to take over my mouth. But in this group, it's like there was a lot of openness, and one thing with me, you might think I talk a lot, but I'm actually a very shy person, and if I don't feel the warmth, I will never open up. And I'm telling you straight, if you'd have let me come into one of your European meetings, I would have probably let them talk their talk and let them think they're right. But no, in here I felt open, I felt I can be myself, and I know I'm irritating, but I just felt I could be that irritating person today. And
you're actually not irritating.
No, I tell myself them things. I'm trying to be humble. Now you see the character I played. It's like I was listening to myself as I was doing the role, and it's like I have these conversations in my head, but I had it openly with you, love. And I like the way you was telling me, just shut up, man. And no, seriously, it's like to manifest, to physically perform it. I can't explain. It's like it's a wow moment for me. It's a very much a wow moment, and I will go away because I was trying to tell my kids, look, I'll come back tomorrow. We've got bare games to play. You know what I mean? I like it, and with me, what will happen in a few months? I'll start going on a downer. So I need just to do another workship. So, no, literally, because change the season, I need to get back up there again, just to boost me up again. So please do another one. Tony, I love you. All right? Tell your mom, tell your mom, she ain't ready.
She may have given birth to you, but she ain't ready. She not ready.
You. Oh, I've got to find out with my mom.
Yeah, you see what you created, Tony. Like, it's only been 2 days. It's not even 2 days. A few hours, you know. But it's that sense of family already, you know, that familiar, you know. And for me, it's like you've just interrupted what I'm doing. You know, like you're going in a certain direction. You're on a bus. You look out the window. You see a nice girl. Like, whoa! You jump. It's like I was going in a direction, and you kind of put another variable in there now. Yeah. So now I'm saying to myself, okay, I need to look into this a bit more now. Yeah. You know, I need to see how I can implement it with the time that I don't have. You know, how can I implement it into what I'm doing, because this is definitely powerful. You know, no doubt, and it can create a lot of healing in the community. Absolutely, like you know, people say that I'm a visionary. I can see what this can do already. You know, and I'm gassed by it. Slightly annoyed, you know, because now I've got more work to do. You know? But it's a blessing, you know. So I just want to thank you for that. And yeah, I'm definitely excited. I definitely feel this should be definitely a 5-dayer, a residential where no one goes home. No mobile phones, no, like some deep work, because you know, like after this, like I'm already into Monday and Tuesday what I need to do. Do you know what I mean? I've got another event after this. I don't really want to go anywhere. Do you know? I want to reason some more. Do some more unpacking. No, seriously. And look into how because I see this as tools. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. See, when I'm working with young people, it's like, what tool can I use now? Yeah. I need this pickaxe. Yeah. And we all need tools. All of us are going through madness, some way, some shape. And yeah, it's you got some work to do, bro. You got some work. But if you need someone on your team, like definitely, bro. Like I'm happy to, you know, promote, to help. You know, yeah, because this is something that I feel is underappreciated. You know, if you're talking about gangs, you know, this room would be packed. Yeah. If it was about police or you know any other kind of loud oppression, this should be packed. But when you're talking about theatre, vulnerability. People don't like this stuff. That's why the numbers here are so low. You know, with the promotion, I've seen it on WhatsApp everywhere. There's a reason why people are not here, because this is the truth. You know what I mean? That you can't lie with what's going on in people's heads. You know what I'm saying? And what Dean said is essential in it. It's like, you know, what do you say? You learn through. No, you play.
You learn through play. Yeah, you're tricked.
You're tricked.
Learning.
People don't want to be tricked because we have so much control. We want to control ourselves. You know, powerful stuff, boy. Jeez. Jeez. Yeah. I'm excited, man. Like, serious. I'm excited, man.
You are doing theatre.
Somewhat.
So now that's what because I ask you, because all of you are actor. All of you have acted very well. So I don't know how you could manage or how you expressed yourself. You are in your daily life. As I'm working with you since yesterday, I'm seeing you a different person in your when you are talking with us, or when we are listening to Tony or others. We are a different person, but when you are performing, you're absolutely a different person. So you enacted the way Tony exploring this session, this workshop, based on Augusto Ball's theory and games and things, is absolutely very workable. It's doable, and it's giving, it's exploring. It gives me a way of working with the community. Thank you.
We saw that in you as well, because when you came out, you started acting. I was thinking, wow, I didn't even know you had that in you.
It's
So
the
that's what
authority,
we
innit?
said.
It was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
drink, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and I would like to echo what you said as well. You know, we're saying that this is beautiful and it's been amazing, but we need to go and recreate this ourselves, because there's so many people out there that need to heal, especially our young people. So it's about us healing other people, and every time we do these kind of workshops, we'll be back in that same state of mind again. Some other things I wanted to say, but I forgot. But it's been, for me, it's been very powerful. I think there's, like you said, there's so many elements that you can use it as a tool in your family and your own personal things that you're having to deal with. And I liked what you said about it's the truth. Because I've got like a WhatsApp image in my phone, and it's like, now we have the truth. Now black people actually hide from the truth, and it's all these black people in a box, and they're actually hiding because we don't want to confront the things that we need to deal with. Because when we confront them, we have to do, we're forced to do something about it, and we don't.
Yes.
And we're always hiding, and we're thinking, oh no, I don't want to do. I know I need to change, but I'm just going to put it to the back so I don't have to deal with it. And that's what we have to do until we deal with it, and it starts with ourselves. We're not going to get anywhere. So, but fantastic. You've all been lovely. It's been a pleasure, and I kind of feel a bit like, oh no, is it finished?
Yeah.
So, well done to everybody.
I don't believe it's come to the end. Yeah, it's just 2 days, too short. Yeah. So I want to quote one sentence of Boaz. It's the theater itself is no revolutionary. It is a rehearsal of the revolution. I love this sentence because he say that we will use this tool or technique to serve the company, serve the community, and so on. I think it's the main purpose of the most of us to coming to this workshop. Maybe for yourself, maybe for your family, maybe for a larger group like a community, or just more like the race and so on. I think it's so exciting because we have saw this possibility to create a community. Just today we have so strong relationship, and if we bring this tool and technique to the community or other place, I think if we give more time to do those kind of things, we can do much more connection and do much more production.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's so exciting for me. And the first day I know so involved, I'm a little kind of, this game I played before, and but this day is more involved because we have the stand story content lasts for one day, half day, and I think we are more and more familiar with this story and more understand what the emotion and the others wanted to talk with. So it's what the community like. So it's what I feel in the today. Thank you.
When you're talking, I'm trying to imagine myself speaking Chinese, right? And no, can I just pick you up because you're eloquent.
Absolutely.
You're actually so eloquent because it's hard to think. I'm just sorry. It's hard to think in another language and
absolutely.
And you don't use simple words either. You're very
expressive.
I love it. Sorry, I just had to say. Cracking knuckles again.
I'll jump in and say so. I've a background in theatre. I've done form theatre in different versions and with different people and manifestations and interpretations. And Tony, you've got some magic in your fingers because I have never experienced it like this. I get it now. I never had the confidence to use it because it felt very technical, very mechanical, and you brought something in here that was like, I don't want to say it's easy to diminish the skill that clearly goes into it. And I know that when I take it into the space, it won't be as fluid as what happened here. And it'll take some practice. But it's easy insofar as it makes sense now. And it makes sense to my heart as well.
The penny drops.
And I also want to say this group is magic. You know, it's amazing how quickly there's so much wisdom and generosity. And I mean, I grew as a person, not just in terms of my skill as a kind of, I want to take this and take it back to my community and work. And it was an awakening insofar as when I was attracted to the scene that you proposed, Ace, it didn't make any sense. I just went for it. I was like, this is oppression, it makes me angry, and I'm going to go for it. And as we broke it down, I realized when I engaged with it emotionally and rationally that what was coming out for me is, I come from a Muslim community where if you speak Arabic on the plane, or if you're wearing a veil and you're speaking in Arabic, or if my brother or my husband or my father is with me, we need to be speaking Arabic a bit more softly, you know. That's where it's coming from. It's this feeling that I can't be me anymore, you know. And there's something there. And you know, how can we reclaim the space? How can we say it's my story and I'm going to tell it how I want to tell it, you know? So that was so precious, and it got me thinking, yes, I want to take this back into my community, but I want to take it into our communities, because what we've done here is I work with my Muslim community, and I'm not saying the Muslim community is a monolith. I work with a specific Muslim community. And being here with you guys, I just want to be with you, because the fact is we're so isolated and we're working in our community, but it's our collective oppression. And if we come together, I just feel like so much I've just grown in a way just in 2 days, you know, honestly, because of your wisdom and your generosity as a group. You know, there's a real shift in me, and I just want this shift to continue. So I would welcome coming back into the group again.
I feel the power in here.
I want to cry. I just want to
Yeah. Why am I feeling like this? Like, we need to do another.
I say so.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to go. So.